Recording Minecraft videos is hard. Now you already probably know this, but your boy is struggling. Also, we're on day 1019. I don't know, I'm struggling to say that. Welcome! Today we're going to go over a few things, and I will do that while explaining what's going on in this world. So, this will be a yap fest. Welcome back. Obviously, a few things to go over, and I'll do a quick speed run. 1. Wynn died. I don't know how, she keeps dying. So we have Poet, I corrected his name. Where is she? She's being sent. Oh, never mind, she's over here. My apologies. She's being sent to the Shadow Web. So we have Wynn 2. I don't know where the other one went. She could be running around somewhere. We never know. Then we have these guys, inspired by Poet Plays. Guys with the uniform. I decided to do a custom uniform for them. So now these guys will be the park employees. So they always sit over here. As well as another thing, I do apologize for that one fellow who wanted me to do the mod stuff. It is in the link in the description below. You can still download the mod, but I added 2 more mods. Those mods being Biomes of Plenty, as well as extra golems. Now you're probably wondering, why extra golems? Well, I can show you why. And we have them over here. Now you're probably wondering, wow, it's just an iron golem. Wrong. It's in the wall. It's an animal handler who is made out of sea lanterns. I don't know why he's facing the wall, but he's an animal handler and he's handling all these creatures down here. So, if we can get a good angle on him. As you can see, he's wearing the dress park attire. Now he does have the glow lichen on him, mainly just because he is a sea lantern variant. So we have both those staff, as well as these guys, which I think is the veterinarians. Actually, that guy's the veterinarian. I don't know what these guys are, but they're also the pack attire. It should have been in the thing before, but they have the Nanyas logo because I am Nanyas. But he's also a walking crafting table. That's pretty cool. Now, a few things have changed. 1, connected the path over here to have everything slowly get connected, because in reality, we need to plan for the future, and I need to plan ahead of time. So I have decided to extend out this part, which was going to go here anyway, as well as have it connect to over here. This will be an enclosure, and this will be a triangle enclosure, which will be really tall and be made out of wood, mainly just to be made like a net enclosure. Ended up catching this guy, should be showing up on screen. We ended up catching him, and now he's in here and he plays music. I'm probably going to kill him. We've added more water to this enclosure, mainly just because it turns out that the Diplocalis needs a lot more water because they'll drown of not having water. So the original 2 died, and I added 5 more. So now there's 5 of them in here. As you can see, they're all small and hiding, and there's a secret enclosure behind it. Also on screen, I should be showing up on screen right now, I decided to make this small enclosure, as I mentioned I was going to do off screen, and eventually I will make these guys enclosure. These guys don't like me. And I've also started on the After Dark area for the bottom of the terrarium aquarium to have the deep sea spooky creatures. Going up these stairs, we also have a new addition, as well as this guy, which is named Mr. Longlegs. Trust me, that's his name, that's why he's still in here. I've also extended this bit out right here to add a awning area for these guys to have more places to eat, as well as started this construction work for another enclosure shop and another shop. I've neatened up the path to have it more coherent with everything else, as well as add multiple archways to the park. I've also gotten ready to line up the new enclosure areas for the water creatures. So you can kind of see, well, that's just a random alligator gar, but you can kind of see that we're going to get to the process of actually starting the water stuff. There's also that guy, as well as finally fixing up the nether room so it looks way better, and also connecting everything up to where I don't have to do teleporting, so I can just go through the top. This has always been here, but I never really used this one. Now, let's go over a few things. 1, you will most likely be getting more videos. What do I mean by that? Well, 2 things. 1, I need to make more shorts, so I'll have random shorts showing up. 2, I want to start doing weekly live streams, and I'll explain that more in a second. And 3, more videos in general. Now, I should be showing a little thing on screen. That's me finding the cave centipede. This right here would be considered entertaining content to a lot of people. Well, look, this guy just catched a giant centipede. This right here, on the left, is not entertaining content, because this man is literally just mining in the nether. That is boring. But, in order to have everything coherent, and also wanting this Let's Play series to extend on past the time of where I shall meet my own demise, I am thinking about just making more content and not really worrying about if it's really entertaining or not. Now, what I do like about doing the streams is the fact that I do label them as filler. You really don't have to watch any of the streams. Now, having the word filler in the live stream was a good thing in hindsight, and it will still be a thing I think I would do going on forward, mainly just because it's not a main focus for the main story of what is going on in this Let's Play series. Also, I forgot to mention, we have another baby Dimetrodon who is stuck at this age forever, so please give it a name down in the description, the comments down below. Now, having the streams as labeled filler allows you as a viewer to watch the main Let's Play series without having to wonder, should I be watching the live streams, as a feeling of missing out. This allows me, the person who makes the content, to stream willy-nilly whenever I want to, mainly just because sometimes I just want to have people to talk to. But with that being said, sometimes it has the dilemma of if anything is live stream, it is now labeled as filler, which is obviously not very true. Thus, going on forward with the new theme of wanting to stream at least every once a week, filler will only be labeled as stuff you don't really need to watch. So what do I mean by filler and stuff you don't really need to watch? Well, that could be a few things, really. One, let's say I decide I need to build another pathway in the nether. That can be seen as boring, and that'd be a 15-minute episode, thus be labeled as filler. Now, it won't have the actual name of filler in the actual title, but it will have it in the description below. Now, yes, technically you have to go through the whole process of going to the description below to see if it's actually filler or not, and technically nothing is all filler, because at the end of the day, if you like my content, you just watch the content. But I know that it can be boring. At any point in life, obviously I have my own job out of this, but I also have this as a side thing. Now, obviously this is just meant for fun, the jazz, and the googles at the very end of the day, but if this does go somewhere, why not have it be prosperous at the point and at the start? But the issue with posting multiple videos that won't do any well is mainly just the fact that it then damages the algorithm on my part. So then my videos are then not sent out, my videos then don't get attention, and the case forward to where my videos never get the attention. Now, already mentioned, but I thought this was for fun. Yes, but I also don't want to not shoot those dreams down. Initially in my whole life, I decided, I want to be a YouTuber, and I tried to do that for a year. Guess what? I stopped halfway through because I realized I didn't have what it takes, and at the time I also didn't know what I really wanted to do in life. So I ended up getting my actual job, which I am now doing now, and now the dinosaur stuff is kind of a side gig. But with the fact that my channel is slowly growing, this allows two things to occur. One, me play the game and have fun, and two, record content with it. And the fact that I need to at least hit a certain milestone in regards for YouTube to actually give me the authorization to actually financially grow, I need to expand further. Now, I know I keep dabbling on and everything, and at the very end of the day, it can be consensualized, and I don't know, that's not a word, but we're going to use it now, into I want to make more content, I want to start streaming, shorts will come out soon, some of the stuff might be boring, deal with it. And I mean, that's basically what it is at the end of the day. So, to get down to the meet and greet to this whole situation, what is the goal of today? And from the rest on point forward. 1, I will be making more content. Yes, it can be considered boring, and if I deem it boring, in the description of the video, it will be quote as filler. 2, I will try to stream at least once every week. Now, due to my work schedule, that might be at 12 p.m. in the morning or 12 p.m. at night. Do I think anyone's going to show up at 12 p.m. at night? Probably not. But hey, I want to stay consistent, and so I'm going to do it. And I have a good idea for streaming every week. Now, do you see the issue with this park? Do you see anything wrong? We are missing freedom. Now, what do I mean by missing freedom? Well, pretty much, we don't have a Site B, or a Site C, or a Site D. Now, as I've mentioned previous times before, I'm actively watching Poet Plays while I'm doing the stuff that I'm not recording, or not actually doing a voiceover, so as of right now, his video is paused. But, I decided that, maybe I should do a Site B. And what better way to do that within a live stream? So, every week, I will at least try to stream once, as is already established before, to then create my own Site B. And what better way to show you where that will be? Now, obviously, as I mentioned, I fixed up this room, but you're probably wondering, why did he fix up this room? Well, I'll show you. Because we because we will be doing another Nexus. And this might be familiar to those who are loyal. Look, I made a to-do list in regards to everything that we will be doing in this park. Now, obviously not everything's on here. It even has a little table of contents of, I forgot what this is called, but you know what this is. In regards to what everything I'm going to do. Obviously, we made a storage, XP farm, shops, etc. We need to make gun store. We need to do cooking area. We need to do weapons area. We need to do an aviary. And we actively are, and technically I already have, done a terrarium/aquarium. The mini ones. But continued, we need Sacro Sanctum, Bison Bench, Moose Meadows, Lagoon Lair, Villager Valor, a museum, which I'll get more to that later, Insect Inspect, the Nether Nexus, which is where we are right now, the Bridge Bend, which I'll show that later as well, the Rail Wrangle, the Nethersaurus, which is a Easter egg, as well as the Portal Takeover, which we already done, which was the room I mentioned. But you're probably wondering, why do we need another Nexus? Can't you just teleport? But I no longer want to do that, and I'll explain that while we're walking. Now, a few things want to go through my mind while we're walking over here to this area of location. Now I'm actually going to sprint. Now I'm going to explain a few things while we're sprinting over to this location that I've slowly moldy desired. Now, as you can see, I'm running over to this location. Why am I running over to this location? Because eventually this will be a Nexus railway to Site B. Now, eventually I'll do the decorating to this hallway so you don't even realize, we're actually in the Nether. It can actually be a railway of some sort. It could be the way the boats go onto the ice. It could be, TNT launch. It could be anything. And that's what we'll do in this area as time goes on. And that might actually even be in the live stream. So that might be considered kind of boring, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day. But the reason why I'm deciding not wanting to teleport anymore is mainly just because we're getting to the point in the park where everything is so big. Why not just walk around? Now, I've already explained in the past that I've done teleporting, mainly just because it is part of one of the mods, mainly just the resource map, the map mod I have installed, which obviously some people can consider that cheating, some people consider it not cheating. Obviously, at the end of the day, if it then extends your capability of getting to a place, it can be considered as cheating, which technically, I will label it as cheating. So technically that's strike 5 on the cheating board, but I've already established that this was going to happen, aka this is already a thing I've already done. So with that being said, the issue with the teleporting is mainly just the fact that I have used it to basically cut down time. As for instance here, this is taking a while for me to just get to this portal. This is something I simply could have just teleported to, and I don't even need to go through the Nether. The Nether as of right now is the original resource to get to point A to point B, I think 8 times faster, because if I'm not mistaken, a block in the Nether is 8 blocks in the overworld, if I'm not mistaken. Also, we've ran out of food. Also, I'm leaving this all in because this is now the new concept of the YouTube video and the videos going on forward. So beforehand, instead of walking all the way over here to get to this portal, I would simply do this one thing, which I will show you in a second once we actually go through this portal. This right here. Now look at this location. Look kind of boring. Oh, I've seen this place before. You haven't. You're a liar. I don't like liars. And you're probably wondering, oh, this just looks like a basic place. One, we probably need to go sleep. Now this place looks boring, but it's being masked by the beautiful, beautiful shaders. Now, if we turn off the shaders, you're then shown the beautiful masterpiece of Biomes of Plenty. Now, we shall take up to the skies. Now, this place has been generated with due generation for the Biomes of Plenty mod. Now, obviously, we have Terralith and all that extra stuff, so this allows the cool mountain pieces. This will now be Site B. Going on forward, anything Site B related will be conducted over here. Now, the reason why I wanted to do the teleporting and not teleporting thing was because look at this. If we zoom out, look how far this is. We're over here. Look at the Y. Look at my Y on screen. I should be zooming in. Look at that. Look how far, look at the Y, Z's, and the X's. Look how far we are on the map. This is our base. Our base is all the way over here. The issue with teleporting is that I could just simply teleport here and it would defeat the whole purpose. Now, if there was a portal mod, which I might actually look into before actually finishing this video, then I'll subtract this whole part and we have never had talked about it. But If there's not, oh my god, there's a sea bunny. But in this situation, I've decided I want to stop teleporting and actually use the nether as intended. Kinda. Oh, well, it's a built-in feature, so I feel like it's intended. Also, I see a bunny over here. I'm gonna go pick this guy up. So that being said, this will be the future area for the live streams. And eventually, once Sightsee is kinda close to being finished, which I'm assuming will take its own while, aka like years, or maybe just a year, or maybe a few months, you never know, with my consistency. Actually, no, it would take a year, because we're live streaming it, and I'm assuming I'm only live streaming for 2 hours. But, with that being said, now we have to talk about the shorts. And I'm gonna walk all the way back, because I told myself I wasn't gonna teleport anymore. Now here, come sit down and have a little chat. Let's talk about YouTube Shorts. Now, you're probably wondering, oh my god, it's another guy doing YouTube Shorts. Can this guy be original? Well, I have to do YouTube Shorts. Blame YouTube! Now, technically, I don't have to. But, you know what I mean, in regard to, getting advertisement, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards if this thing ever explodes, for help me succeed. Now, I don't know what kind of YouTube Shorts I will do, but it'll probably be stuff that people haven't done yet, because respectfully, I don't think there's a lot of people doing fossils and archaeology shorts. So in reality, I could do, let's do this crafting recipe in shorts, but I think I want to do a little bit more and add a little bit of flair. And technically, some of the shorts will just be the YouTube content put down into short content, so I will have to figure out how to do that later on. But that will be the meat and greets of what the short form content will be. Now, a good example of that would be my video of, this should be showing up on screen as of right now, is the netherite pickaxe better than the scarab pickaxe? Now, for those who've actually watched that video, it will now be deleted and turned over into a short form video, basically just giving the whole consensus of what is better. Spoiler alert for those who've already watched it, they're both equal, I believe, from what I did in the math. I'm gonna have to do the math again. They could have updated it. I really don't know. But with that being said, that might be some other stuff, as well as some hidden secret talents to building enclosures. Because I technically don't get a lot of praise, but I've been told I do enclosures. And I do want to explain the thought process on how I am building these enclosures. Because at the end of the day, if I can inspire another person to build a park, why not keep going? Why not inspire more and more people? So that's pretty much it. I don't know how much left in this video, but we will show you a few things in this video that I've already done. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know if we're going to do Sarcosuchus enclosure. I don't know. So we got a parrot from the cultivator. So he's on my shoulder. And we'll put him in the room with the other toys. And we'll put him in the room with the other creatures. But we need to think of a name. What name should we give you, little dude? Also, since we have the first person model, we can actually see him on our shoulder. He's looking where we're looking. That's pretty snazzy. I'll figure it out. Oh my god, we found her. How'd she end up here? What are you doing? How'd you end up over here? You were ruining my conversation. We were having a nice talk. Now we have 2 wins. Well, this is awkward. Let me fix this real quick. Now we have 2 wins. We have Poet 2, Win 1, and Win 2. Maybe I probably should have looked around, but I don't know how she ended up there. That is crazy. And actually, just for right now, we're gonna name her Wander. Actually, no. She's the original Win. So you're the original. You are Summer. You'd be the opposite of Win. Win in Summer. That's good. And with new changes is new upgrades. Look, my eyes. They move around. They scheme. As well as blink on the occasion. Look, the boy's got animations now. So I realized there was a bunch of errors in the previous resources packs that I had. So I ended up updating my model. Also, look, we have a new jacket to match the colors of my favorite colors, aka red and that weird little pinkish red that I like. But now we have cool walking animations, as well as blinking eyes that look mischievous. When I look down, I actually look down, as well as just the normal attire of doing everything. So now everything can be a little bit more personal. So that's a cool new animation that we have, which I'll show the resource packs. But first, in order to move away from teleporting, I uninstalled the journey map and installed Xeno's map. So if we press M, which is way better, and I'm kind of mad that I didn't use this initially. I think someone mentioned like eons ago. But this thing scans anything, like scans everything. So you don't even need to explore. I don't think I've ever explored down here. Guess what? Load chunks. Loaded. It gets everything. This is amazing. Now my fear is that every time I load in, I have to load in these new map chunks, but it doesn't matter. Look how amazing this looks. Look at the icons. Look at the icons. That look so amazing. We go over here. Guess what? Boom. Icons. Now obviously the fossils and archaeology dudes don't have them. Also the armor stands. But okay, I was about to say make sure they're all there. But you know, them being blue kind of helps me out in this situation. Oh, there's a zombie over there. What he's doing? And look, we even have the dude with the glasses. He looks kind of stupid because his glasses are going through the eyes. But not only that, we have better animations. So these guys are also alive and about. Where are they at? See, look, they're all cool and stuff. And these guys have animations as well. Actually, not these guys. And these guys have animation as well. Also, I realized I could just make this one block because they can't get out of here. And I didn't have the door. That's so cool. So, with the new era of how I'm going to start doing content, it brings a new wave of new things. And I also have this mod in order to move the health potions or the health icon symbols at the very top of the screen. So, this is what we'll be using on forward. And as you can see, if I press M and try to teleport, can't because it's disabled. I must work hard for my greed that is needed. What do you think, Mr. Chef? Why not you go to sleep, no? Be contemplating. I gotta ask you a question. Get it? Also, look at the new fit. I mean, I've already explained the new fit, but look at the new fit. It looks gas. You know what I'm saying? Man, my boy took a deep breath. That thing looks fire. My only complaint with the immersive animations thing is that this thing right here, because it kind of looks weird. I know it's supposed to be like you're like crouching so your knees are showing up forward, but I don't know, it kind of looks weird. But everything else looks fine. We also have different texture packs, so this is why I have the elytra. So the wood elytra mod has been uninstalled, as well as some quality of life texture packs. So these guys are 3D now. A bunch of stuff is also 3D. For example, these guys are 3D now. These guys are 3D now, even though they're already 3D. What the hell does everyone mean? And these are all the resource packs that I am using. I know it's a lot to bear. Oh, we even forgot that one. So we have all these. And I think I'm gonna add a few more animation packs because I know there's more, I believe. This is the vanilla tweaks and everything so forth. And I will be uploading this new version to the actual Curse Forge mod pack on my thing, which will be in the link description below. I don't know when. Hopefully when the video comes up. I don't know. It is a process to get the animations for the eyes, but you just simply look up a video on fresh animations to get that. So it's pretty cool. And with that all being said, we are now on Friday of February 13th. I just did a live stream in normal Minecraft and died to a gas who spawned right behind me. It has now been deleted because there's been copyrighted music in it. So we'll never ever see that again. But I was robbed. That gas spawned like 2 blocks away from me. It's dumb. Either way, this is probably going to be the rest of this video. I know it was a bunch of blabbing, and I'm pretty sure this won't get the views. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm not here for the views at the end of the day. I just want to have a milestone in regards to previous history. But look! This is now the Nether Hub. So, I did do this on my off time after I finished recording everything and explained I wanted to do the Nether Hub. And it's nothing really crazy. It's just a bunch of decor and just stylization. The only thing that took a while to get was all the glass, but you know, deserts had to be sacrificed. So this is where we come through the portal. As you can see, this is just a random portal with a glowstone that goes all the way down and all the way up. I wanted to have this glass fog effect that goes all the way up top so it matched, but sadly, for some reason, looking below up doesn't match the same as looking down. So I really don't know why that is. But you get at the portal from whatever which way you look. This is a giant bee. I literally just looked up a bee on Google and put it in the immersive paintings. And then this leads you all the way down to where site B is. So if we press M, as you can see, site B is all the way over here. I think I'm going to move the portal over here. I'm pretty sure it won't mess with the actual teleporting. This is also all the new loaded chunks we hear. So, and this is what it looks like for the map. So that's site B. So that's what the giant B is for. We go over here. Well, actually, no, let me just show you the room. So we have random decor, just a random thing. Little stand, little all that stuff. As well as just random decor. Some nether stuff, because, you know, we are in a nether. Another vase. A kunai thingy. As well as a lodestone. And eventually something else. And then we have this over here. Experience. That, and all that stuff right there. And then this is the netherite, where if you go down here. Oh, my chest is in the way. You can have you know, where we find netherite at that certain level. These are just random golems. They have no skin, but you know, the nether is gold related. We have golden golems. There's 2 of them at least. But this is the netherite stuff, and then this right here is nothing. So I have been inspired by a few nether hubs, aka none. They don't have any nether hubs. I've been looking, and not a lot of people share those. So this is the one I have here. I didn't record any of me building this, but to be honest with you, the wand of symmetry, I just put it in the middle here, and then whatever I did on this side correlated to the other sides. The only sides that aren't similar is this and this side. Actually, no, they're actually similar. So the only sides that are different is these parallel those 2, and then those sides parallel those 2, because they don't have the thing here, but they all connect. So eventually, depending on how I want to function things, I might break this off, because I will do enclosures for the dinosaur creatures in the nether, specifically for 2 of them. So, but you know, those are later endeavors. And then eventually, since I've decided that I'm no longer teleporting, I need to eventually get, you know, my own automated farms. And since we have Create, I think things will look a little bit better. So I do apologize I didn't show this on camera, but to be honest, after I finished all that video, I simply just went in and did everything on my own, because I just wanted to listen to, you know, a podcast while building. So I will say that this did take 3 hours. So a majority of it was just getting the material. Luckily, everything I have, I think diorite was the only thing that was crazy, and gathering all the doohickeys, all the quartz. So, but everything else we had an abundance of. I also destroyed a bastion, as you can see here, and that's where the majority of the resources came from. So that's why all the blackstone is here. So, but I like how it looks. It's all simple. It's all fancy. I like how the structure is. My only complaint would be the fact that it is. My goal initially was to have the room be big and open, and not know that you're in the nether when you get here. But sadly, that's not the case. So that is so far it. We'll probably expand out diagonally, or if anything, expand out these certain hallways here. my main thing is I do want to keep everything symmetrical. As you can see, everything is literally identical. The one is symmetry, which I'll show. I think I'll do this in the next episode. And I'm probably going to record the episode today. But I'm going to build enclosure with this just to show how easy enclosures are to build with this now. So there will be a lot more of me building in episodes. Look at me scheming. I'm still not used to the animations and the eye stuff. It's really weird. I gotta get used to that. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I know this was a yap fest, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But like and subscribe for more. Sir, you want to see me in the picture? Like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the future. Say it with me. Have a majestic day.